Clash of Clans Podcast, episode 84. And we're back with Clash of Clans with the fans of Sands. I'm your pal, Giddy Boneyard. I'm here with my pal, Scotty. Hey, Scotty.
Hey.
And we're here at the Clash of Clans Zodcast.com talking all things Clash of Clans on the Zodcast today. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Well, actually, we have one thing to talk about, one all-encompassing thing.
Well, it's going to be kind of a little bit of a marathon.
We got a war that we won.
The Soaz. Zod.
A marathon?
Well, we got to talk to the Soaz guys.
Well, yeah, that's coming up later. But right now, we'll talk to them and about them later. Let's talk about what we did. We had a big old war. Zod paired up with Soaz, which is a clan and another podcast that based out of South Arizona, right? Soaz.
Yeah.
And we said, okay, let's do it. Botox and Brock put it all together, matching up all these, and that's the whole thing. That's probably a whole episode on how to figure out how to do that.
Yeah,
because it really took a lot of work. And of course, because
were you surprised?
Because Botox didn't have the people or something. They brought in a lot of ringers from the Kryptonian family, from One Hive, and from somewhere else too. There's Kent, L. You all had people. All had your.
I don't think anybody was in the war. None of the L people.
Oh yeah.
No.
Isn't Sasquatch in your?
He's always been in both.
So is he in House of L?
Sasquatch is in House of L. His second account's usually in Soaz for a long time.
So he was in there anyway.
Yeti.
Anyway, basically it was it was Zod versus the world, and we won. We won handily. We won well. We won awesomely. It was a fantastic battle.
It was
the awesome. Soaz. They put it down real well. Especially the One Hive guys that were in here, and a couple of everybody. They put it down.
Yeah.
It was a fun battle. We won 98-95. We were ahead the whole time. We put the first stars on the board. Our Town Hall 8s went through and took out all their Town Hall 8s. There was a couple left over that gave us a little bit of trouble. And we didn't really box too many people out. We were real careful of that at the beginning and then at the end. In the middle, we ended up with some attacks that
somebody had to go up high, didn't they?
Guys had to go up high, and we had a couple of people that were way down low that did scout attacks for us. You guys were talking about now. You guys were twitching it.
Yeah. So this was the thing. This is a thing.
This is a thing. So you're twitching it while at the end there when
people were checking in on the line chat all day asking about the score, and then the Soaz guys said they weren't gonna twitch, and so I've been working on trying to get it going for a while, and finally I was like, well, I'm like, do you guys mind? And they're like, no, do it, and we took like just a little bit, way shorter than I expected, but pretty soon
you guys were watching
twitching.
it live, and you had, I don't know, a bunch of people from KFAM and from Soaz on there, all rooting against us.
Well, the first part of it, it didn't broadcast on Twitter before, and then the second one it did, and it was like people from everywhere.
Yeah, there was a lot, like 100 people watching this from all over. Everybody rooting against us, and guess what? Underdogs. Well, we weren't the underdogs. Actually, we were probably the favorites to win in the first place.
How'd your guys' heroes match up? Did they match up pretty easy?
I don't even know.
I think they're about
sometimes
even
it was laughable that they're like, why doesn't this guy have heroes? And then holy shit, this guy's going to come through and wipe us out. A lot of great attacks.
They had a lot
of 6 stars on our end.
Good range of. Well, how many TH10s in both clans?
Let me pull it up. Let me just pull up the war log on that, and we'll take. I think it was 4.
4 on 4.
I think it was 4 on 4. Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll talk about it because So we started out. We came out hot. Put up some 3 stars, and we were killing it. Let me just pull this up here. And let me tell you this: we had come off a loss over the weekend. We didn't bring it super hard, and the other guys were good, and that's the way it was. No excuses. We just didn't do as good as we could have, and those guys did as good as they could have, and they were better. So we were ready to win this. Like we were like, okay, this is what matters. We're going to get this. So we were all. Well, of course, this is a big war. Everybody's watching. We really buckle down and work together.
Let me ask this: so when you saw their bases, like at the beginning of war,
Yeah.
What were you thinking? Like, were you like, okay, these are bases that we've been against, or like, are these bases that are going to make us redo something, or were you able to kind of use a normal strategy that you?
No, we used Zod strategy. We worked together, talk about attacks. If bases changed on war day, that's stupid. Let's talk about that for a quick second. Troll bases that are,
but you didn't look across and go, hey, this is is about even. I mean,
and some of the bases were good, and some of them were more exploitable than others. It's probably the same thing on our side, you know. You're guarding against one thing, hoping for a 2-star against the other. You know, it's hard to do. You know, what really anything lower than mid tunnel 9, you're just trying to soak up attacks. You want it to be attacked twice or 3 times or 4 times. That's really a strategy. Is it's not make it on 3-starable. It's make it 2-starable
on the first try.
On the first try, at least. You know, like. Because you have to have those, you know, if you soaking up attack. Remember the old Taco, our buddy Jor-El had the bases that had no walls, and you're like, oh, and all these guys, all like, you would eat up 6 or 8 Town Hall 8 attacks because they're all going up this Town Hall 7 and not following through, you know.
Maybe I should try that with Xace. Throw them in a ward just to try to do just a stupid camp, so that way
hold it to 2, you know, and that's a win because he's a Town Hall 8 or 9, 8.
8.
Yeah, that's
early
a win.
8.
If you can hold them to 2 stars on your base in a war on a Town Hall 8, that's a win.
So maybe I should think of Xace. Maybe I should just. Well, okay. So here's what I was seeing.
Well, let's go back to the start.
No, but you guys were using like hogs and dragons. So if you kind of just made a super weird base that, you know, because I think a lot of people use hogs or dragons on TH8s.
Loons. Those are the 2 attacks that you have. You don't have max loons on Town Hall 8, so that's out. You have,
don't? I thought you did.
No, it's just the red ones, just the 5s. I think if the max is 6, I think.
Okay.
So they're like, that's no good.
Yeah.
Drags and hogs and how well you use them and how well you have your king's a huge part of that. But we were like, okay, so down low, what do you got? Drags. Send them in on the Town Hall 8s. That worked. Okay, some people got Hawks, and we're people are branching out. I got a lot of people that are moving up from 8s to 9s right now, so they're like, okay, we're going to start working on new attacks because now you got new troops.
What would you do with Xace just to like throw something off? Because like it seems like the base configurations are very similar at that those levels. So like the taco base that might work if you like just did it so people thought they could just dragon something,
right?
And just completely fail.
It's and then it's you're drawing in the obvious attack. So somebody comes in with the obvious attack, but you have trapped it or tricked it so that will fail the first time.
Yeah.
And the second time you're like, okay, well now they figured that out, you'll get killed. But that's 2 attacks. That's
right.
That's enough.
So maybe that's what I should do with Xace.
Yeah. I mean, player 1 doesn't. Well, he's been moving around, and we'll get to that too.
He's not very strong.
Player 1's been doing walkabout and working with my dragons.
Fantastic attack, by the way.
Well, I crapped out in Kent. I was pretty embarrassed about it. And I did good in Phantom Zone, and I did good. Well, I got 3 out of. I got a 3-star.
You had to go way up on the. You went up on the first one.
Yeah. Well, okay. So let's get back to the Soaz War. The Soaz War. Let's get back to the House of Zod War because we win. It's named after us. The score 98-95.
Hey, you guys, we're gonna have to put up a trophy for you.
And we got
on the website.
Yeah, any interclan war, we actually have 2 wins on that, but the first one was kind of a fluke.
I like the idea of a cup, though. What if it was a rotating?
That's cool.
What would you call it?
Zod's Chalice. I don't know. We get to name it, right?
Was there a Kryptonian?
I don't know. We could call it we win the Bottle City of Kandor. That's the prize. That's actually pretty cool. The Bottle City of Kandor, the little city from Krypton that Brainiac stole. Superman has it at the Fortress of Solitude and whatnot. It's a little city with a little teeny miniature Superman running around.
Something about this on like a brief run on the Wikipedia. Yeah, I did. But what was it?
The Bottle City of Kandor. It's a city that Brainiac shrunk down and then stole from Krypton, and it's like the last of Krypton that Superman has to save from him. And there's all kinds of different storylines. This isn't just one, but it's a tiny little city full of little teeny tiny Supermen and women. that fly around in their little yellow sun because the sun's yellow here.
Do they ever escape?
Yeah, probably. And he gets shrunk down and goes in there and stuff, and it's a whole thing.
That'd be weird. I don't know how they made that work, but
it's
like,
a comic book,
it's a city in a.
Yeah, at one point
they used to do that on cartoons all the time.
Where you got shrunk down and it's an old. Well, I mean, it's Twilight Zone old. Okay, so 98 to 95. Zod over Soaz. Now this thing blacked out because we get on tangents so many times. We got 200 clan XP because we was 35. Awesome. Our next win will put us over into clan level 4. We are only 115 away from it. We could actually get it. We could actually get it if we lose. If we get all the XP from everything, we'll still get it. But anyway,
what's your membership?
What?
What's your 30. Okay.
Yeah. For the thing because there was 35 of us. I ended up with 800 grand each of war bonus because I made 2 attacks that both got stars but not fresh stars. We'll get to that. So, the war results. Let's run down to the bottom here. And I'm going to run through my list of guys and what they did real quick. Down at the bottom, Chasley, 6 stars. Down at the bottom, Luxus. First attack, 3 stars. Second attack was a scout. He got 4%, but he went up to Coop, or he went up to RJ to find the, and you know what he was doing? He was finding, I'm pretty sure this was this one, he was finding the 4th Tesla tower.
Oh.
You guys were wondering about it. What the hell is he doing? What the hell is this battle about? We sent him up there so we could find the 4th Tesla.
But they almost got to the town hall.
Was that the one? Okay, well, this one only got 4%, but we were sending scouts up.
They were like low-level dragons.
And one scout went up and because he was trying to find the Tesla, and you're thinking of the one the
from the north.
The scout. You were thinking of the scout on Cooper.
Okay.
Because they almost got to start up there just scouting with level 1 dragons, and that was hilarious.
Yeah, I could not believe that.
But we sent Lux up to find the 4th because the first attack got 50% and then died, and we didn't know where the hell was that last Tesla, so we sent somebody to go find it. Next, Hodor,
you can't stop yourself from
Hodor. First attack, 3 stars, where he needed them. Second attack, he got 70%, 1 star, no, not a fresh star, but he went up from 33 to 18. He was trying to get a star. He was already boxed out a little. 32, Ragnar Lothbrok, 6 stars. Dan Halen got a 2-star near him, and the second one we had to send him up and do a scout. He's also down here at the bottom. Dan Halen.
All these names are so familiar because we watched it for so long.
Mikey Gersagurf didn't do great, but he did have to go up on both of his attacks and got 1 star and 2 star. Fusa, first attack, 3 star. Second attack, got a fresh star on 18. He's 29, but didn't get 3. He just got 2, but one of them was fresh. Lord Fred, number 28, got 2 stars, way up 8 spots up.
Were you guys matching it? Were they kind of hitting across in terms of at times? Were you guys going one back and forth at first?
What we do is the bottom goes first, and there was Town Hall 7, so we just leave those alone. And then, so it's the Town Hall 8s need to clean out Town Hall 8s, and you just have to pick any Town Hall 8. Go the highest you can, but just hit your same Town Hall level.
Okay.
And do what you can, because if there's 8 people that all have max troops, no matter what their defenses are, so it doesn't matter what number they are in the line, they're going to be able to beat a Town Hall 8. There's that whole Town Hall 8 versus Town Hall 8 issue.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what number they are. They're all Town Hall 8s with max troops.
Right.
So offensively, they're all the same number.
Yeah.
Well,
and some people specialize. Or better at certain attacks.
You got the dragons. You look for the dragon base. You got the hogs. Look for the easy hog base, and go find it and kill it. Talk about it and get it done. And that's what happened. Lord Fred 28. He went up to 20, got 2, and then 3-starred 26 real quick to get those 3 stars. Captain Crazy Nuts 2-starred twice, above him on both ones. Not a fresh star though. Peanuts was as a second. He went. It was number 18. 18 was a Town Hall 8 that gave us a lot of trouble. We had to attack it a lot, and he went up and got 2 stars, and then he was the one that got up and attacked Cooper to see if Cooper had left his base like he had it forever, which is ridiculous because he had given that base to one of our guys, to Funky. Hey, check out this base. And basically he had his rating and pushing base out, and then he was doing rating and pushing.
You mean the picture of it, or the
like he's like, hey, try this base out. Like, here's a picture of my base. Do you want to use this base for your war? Like sharing with it, right? I don't know if he forgot that he did that, and because he had changed his base during prep day and then put it back to that. And you're like, well, that's weird. And you're like, okay, I'm pretty sure the Teslas are in the middle, but maybe he knew, like the double reverse. Is he trying to play like he remembers that we know what this is, and then he moved the Teslas out, and that's a double sucker hole? Like, I don't know. And so Peanuts went up there and found out and almost got a star on him.
Holy shit.
25, Jordell got a fresh star above him to 3 out, 23. Also attack number 18 for 2 stars, 80%. I think we attacked it 6 times or something. And that goes to show that not all tunnel lights are easy, but we got it done. And we might have even had to bring a tunnel 9 down. I'm not sure. We'll get to that. Sir Zigzalot got 3 stars right near him. Second attack was on 18. Wheezy got a 3rd star to clean out something, and then went way up and got a 59% 1 star. Right. So I think we had 0 fails. Well, unless they were scouts. Anyway, Ripley 3 stars right at his thing, and then got the 3rd star on a second attack from a different one. Huang 6 stars, all above him. Eat My Dust, 2 stars and 1 star. The 1 star wasn't fresh. And that Eat My Dust got 2 stars, and it was 97%. A couple of those, we'll get to Rambo's. Boy, was he pissed.
Yeah, he had the town hall left.
Yeah, we'll get up there. Yeah, that
hurt.
It was like 98%.
And the hogs were on it.
Yeah.
God, I can't believe I remember all these.
Well, it was pretty intense. It was a pretty intense, like 11 hours of, 6 hours of me just sitting there.
Yeah.
Everybody was doing it. Harry, 2 attacks. He got a fresh star, 91%. So he got 2 stars with 91%. He dropped for that a little bit. And he was the first person to get a star on 18. He got it for 1 star. Hey, it's stung. Hey, it's tongue. For the longest time after this guy joined, I thought his name was Hey, it stung.
What?
But it's Hey, it's tongue. His name is Tongue. T-U-N-G. Hey, it's stung. I'm like, wait a minute. People have been calling you Tongue. I've been calling you Stung. Yeah, it was a thing.
I was thinking it was calling him Strung.
Hey, it's stung. Yeah. Let's see, he's 18. Oh, he got a 0 star on 21, but then he went and got the 3rd star on 20 to 3 star. Funyun, 2 stars on his same number, and then he went and got 1 star on Botox. Dizzle, 3 stars, and then 2 fresh stars down below him, way above him. Blue Triangle, 3 stars, and then late in the game, Blue Triangle came through, and he is the guy that got the 3rd star on 18, and he is a Town Hall 9. I just checked it.
Oh, Ethan. On Ethan? No.
On Botox. And Ethan was number 18.
Yeah.
And he was the one that we had trouble with. Blue Triangle finally is the one that came through, and he had it was real late in the game, but he came through and took that.
What were they hitting him with? Was it Hogs and Dragons? Or Hogs a couple times?
No, this is
on Ethan?
On Ethan, I don't know. We were hitting him with all kinds of different shit, and we couldn't get that 3rd star a bunch of times. And a lot of it was people. Well, there were a lot of them and a few of them were going up.
I might have only seen 1 or 2.
Like our mid Town Hall 9s, but again, they're Town Hall 9s with max juice, but they were going up to try to get this, and I think he was close to their top Town Hall 8 as far as defenses go. Either he was or he was close. Well, I can look.
Yeah. There was a couple. Well, no, that was it. That was right on 17 and 18. So he was the top defensive on the Town Hall 8. Okay, so Delanthea, 1 star in his first attack. He went way up. Got the 3rd star to clean something out below him. Proc, 3 stars on number 7. Proc was 13, so he went up to a heavy Town Hall 9 to do that. Attack number 2 didn't get anything, but Proc is the base that got hit with Hogs numerous times,
and he is the one that had the hound in a CC.
That was
It
crazy.
was hilarious to watch those guys go in with the same attack 3 times in a row, like really, really quickly, like maybe in a couple hours. So it's not like you would forget. They would draw the hound out and then kill it, and it took forever. And the first time they just drew it out and killed it with the queen, which took just a really long time. But then when you know what happens,
it blew up around the top of her.
It blows up around her, and then it kills her. It kills everything. You just with a hog attack and a hound in the CC, you don't do anything. You just let it fly around shooting one hog for an hour. It doesn't matter. It doesn't do anything. So a hound in the CC worked, but in the future, like immediately we're like, after a couple times we're like, oh, you just ignore it completely. It's actually not that great of a CC troop, because once you figure out that you should just ignore it, I mean, it might.
Don't mind the flying pig.
Now I'll tell you what, if you're going in and your queen gets hooked to it,
that's what happened a couple times.
And then your defenses are killing your queen, and your queen's just standing there like an idiot. But here's what happened. They would go in with the hogs. They went in, and because they took so much time and so much effort getting that fucking hound out, they never killed the queen and sent the hogs in, and they all died, and it was hilarious.
But then
they did it again immediately, drew the hound out, killed it, and then sent in their hogs.
The pups followed the hogs, though, the whole time in that defensive CC.
And they were still alive, and they were just getting burned to shit.
Yeah,
it was hilarious. So 3 times in a row, they sent in the hogs with the same battle. Never got the queen dead. She just hung out back there. Everybody was like, Proc, your fucking base kicks ass.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really against hogs anyway. And then they came in with they finally...
So you don't even want to send your queen in if there's a pig dog in there.
Yeah, somebody dropped, and they finally came in with loons.
That'd be hard to do.
Polka Dot Trex. Polka Dot Trex was the one that came in and finally got it with a well, let's look at it. Okay, you got a golem.
He has to be twitching that.
He's got a golem, some wizards, 3, and then golem and some wizards was his kill squad plus his kill squad, in a CC heroes. But then he had 3 hounds and 14 loons as what he was going to do to come in and kill it. And we're back. SoazPodcast.com. We're talking about the war. We're doing this Twitch thing for the first time ever.
We decided, let's stop for a second, really quick, and start the Twitch, because I thought I had the settings figured.
Well, I don't know if we're twitching now or not, because it's not showing up on the thing, but I guess it's moving real slow.
Yeah, there's a bit of a lag.
Well, I mean, we've been moving it around. Anyway, so...
Otherwise, you can stare at Boneyard's Town Hall.
Yeah, right here is my Town Hall. Oh, let's pan out. Boop. There we go. Everybody can see my Boneyard's little base here. And let's go right over to here to the coolest spot of them all. Boop. Pulses on. Deep. We're going to go and check out the War Log, because that's where we were in the podcast. Those of you listening on the podcast will be catching up. We know where we're at. I'm going to catch everybody else up on the Twitch real quick. Let's see if it works. How's that?
All right. So
is this working at all? Is this twitching? I don't know.
Something's
happening.
Is this thing on?
Well, I guess you can check the Twitch later. We'll continue on with the podcast, right?
Yeah. So if you're out there, I should probably go in and
what?
Oh, there it is. It's just laggy. So I guess you're just going to have to bear with us, because
as
I can work on things as we keep going.
Are they seeing me move it live, or is it
lagging?
It's laggy for them?
Yeah.
Oh, well, they're never going to see anything.
Well, no, look. It's coming up a little bit slower. Just let's just go, anyway. Because we're recording this anyway.
Yeah, where we were at was we were talking about, I'll go all the way to the bottom, and everybody can go through on the Twitch here. And if you wanted, you could pause and study it closer. I was going through who all the guys in the house is on and what stars they got. I'm just going to fast forward.
Motion animation.
I'm just going to fast forward through all of them, so that if you want to look at anything in particular, you can stop and pause it or whatever. Proc got 3 stars, and we were talking about how his base sucked up all these hogs, and that was hilarious. And unless I know this Twitch work, I'm not going to replay it for you and then talk about.
Well, no, I mean you could just start it.
All right.
Or do it afterwards. Go up the list. Whatever you want to do.
We're going to finish on the list.
We're just seeing what you're seeing.
Brock, okay. Psychotic T, number 12. He got his first attack got a fresh star, number 9, but it was only 2 stars for 92%, so you got real close. He was the one that went through and finished off Botox for 100%, got the 3rd star. That was pretty sweet. He was real happy with that. It was a beautiful attack. And we'll go, and I'll show it on the Twitch if I can here. Towards the end, we'll go through some of the choicer attacks. But we're just going through the list right now.
When we're talking with the Soaz guys, you could be playing.
You know, and I'm sure that's true too. If we can figure it out by then, we can figure that out. Let's just stick to what
at
we're
least
doing.
something's going.
Well, let's just stick to this Zodcast for now because
Right.
it's about this. 11, number 11, Tickle that he got the 2 stars on Botox, 73% his first attack. Cleaned up and got the 3rd star for his second attack. Sam Meyer 187. First attack was 2 stars on right around him at 11, and then he got the 3rd star on number 10 to 3-star that out. Number 9 Randall only got 1. Now we got people calling in.
Yep, it's the Soaz guys.
Beep 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 beep. We did a little pause here and chit-chatted with the Soaz guys for a minute while we got them on the horn. Apologize for the audio in that last little clip. As we set up the Twitch, apparently something went a little funky with the audio. So we are back on track with that. And here we go with the Soaz interview. So, Clash of Clans.
Clash of Clans. We were just talking about the war. I was going through the list of members of Zod and counting out the stars they got. And when we set it to Twitch, it was because we were talking about proc space, how it was soaking up those hog attacks, and then Polka Dot. I think it was Polka Dot came through with the loons and the hounds finally. And we were just going up the list. We got to Sam. We're going to get to Randall. Let me just knock off the top 10, and then we can get into actual attacks and show and talk about some of the stuff on the other side. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. We were at Sam. Got the 3rd star. Let me just go up here. Number 9, Randall. First attack, 1 star on.
If you guys remember any of these attacks,
I'm just going to go through them real quick because and then we can run back through the choice ones. As we go through, chime in here.
We're installing Flash in this end, so we're not looking at the Twitch stream. But
I hate Flash.
No, we're just doing it as a podcast. Like,
okay. I thought you guys would have the Twitch going. We're going to watch at the same time.
Yeah, we're trying to, but we can put all that. We're just going to put all this out as a podcast, for an hour of just listening, and then we can do more with you guys and if you can figure out the Twitch. So.
Hey, tell me the.
It's probably going to be choppy, so we're just going to roll like we're recording regular.
Yeah, if it doesn't work, then we can just put it all out audio for.
It's all going to be audio, anyways.
Yeah. Oh, all right.
We need a talking stick.
I know.
Hold your hand up.
Yeah, that doesn't work over Skype, does it?
Actually, there probably is some way to do that. We need to figure that out for these conference calls.
Oh, that's way too much effort.
Yeah.
Little buttons. If you hold it in, you can talk, and it's the light's on.
And was Matt calling in too?
No.
No, God, no. The 5 of us is. Wait, I can't count. How many of us are there? 6?
6.
Jesus,
4 on here, yeah.
And our minis.
All our second accounts are in here too, right?
50-person clan in here.
All right, so we were at number 9. Frank got 1 star. Attack number 2. He's number 9. He went to 13, got 3 stars. Rambo Land didn't do well. He got 0 fresh stars. He got 2 1-stars, but his first one. He was 8, he had 12, and he got 1 star with 98%. Just that town hall left. That was such a bitch. He was so mad. And, that was a tough one.
Been there.
Yeah, and it happened a couple of times in this war where it's 49% or 51%. You're like, God damn. Number 7, Enrico Palazzo he went early, got 3 stars on number 8, town hall 9, and then. Right at the end, he needed to get. Well, I wanted to give it 2 more on number 12, but he only got the 1. But it still was enough to put us over and keep us in the math as a head there at the end. 6, Kyle. First attack 1 star. Second attack 1 star, but not a fresh one. Brock 24-24. What do you expect? 6 stars. He's number 5. He took out the top 2 town hall 9s, 6 and 5, and.
Nice attacks.
Did magnificently, yeah. Great attacks. Risha, number 4, got a 2 stars. First attack was 1 star. Second attack was 1 star. Both fresh against number 3 and 4. Boneyard, I got no fresh stars. First attack, I went in on number 11 to get the 3rd star with a Pentaloon. First time I'd ever tried it. I know you guys were all looking at my base like it was geared up, ready to. What's he going to do with that? Failed. Second attack, I went after Botox with I must have had 10 seconds to gem out an entire minion army, and the spells. Forgot the heroes, but I mean, I was going in and I got 1 star for the loot.
You didn't take the heroes in?
I didn't even. I forgot it.
Loot raid? Wait, hold on. You did a loot raid? Doesn't your description say no loot raids?
Oh, I wasn't even going to go. That was the funny thing. That was the best part of it because I was waiting to the end, like, you should, if we don't need you to go, don't even go. But then we didn't get a star, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to get a raid in and trying to get this point to keep the math, and failed, and it didn't matter. But at the end, loot raid, the minion swarm. I like that'll be hilarious. Minion swarm at the end for
the Minion King.
For the Minion King, on Votoxes. I'm like, okay, I'm just sending them all in. And
I hope they come out with a troop that's more like you. In the future, you know what I mean? Like, you kind of seem like you've grown out of the minions.
Well, I like the pups and the hogs; those are fun to see too. But and then number 2, Egglay did fantastic. He got 2 stars on number 1 on Cooper, and he got 2 stars on number 2, Aaron. So 4 stars up in the Town Hall 10s. That's great. And then number 1, Funky, he came in and got the 2nd star on 3 and the 2nd star on 4 to keep us right up there in the math. So we ended up having 2 stars on all the Town Hall 10s, and then all but 3 stars on 3 different Town Hall 9s for the end for the win. And we were talking about awesome raids and stuff. What should we look at first?
Or what do you guys remember about some of those attacks?
Excuse me. Your Zod did wonderful. So 98 stars is really commendable. So hats off to you guys. And
listen, hats off to you, to Soaz and everybody that was in on that war. That was a lot of fun. I mean, it really was a lot of fun. Some stuff got heated and this and that, but listen, once the game's over, it's a good game and well done, because that was a fucking battle.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, it really was a battle.
Agreed, sir. When you look at it, when you look at the last few attacks, we had our final assault. Just if the wind would have blew the other way, man, it would have been a hell of a lot closer here.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even look at that because I was one of the last moment ones, and then after that, it was like such a weight off my chest that I was like, okay, I'm done. And I didn't even listen to the stream until like maybe 30 minutes later to find out you guys still pulled an all-nighter.
Yeah,
that was a lot of fun.
It was just so active.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't believe, this guy's telling me with Twitch, there's like 100 people watching and listening live at the end. How fun is that? I was literally shaking at the end. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. And I see Matt's listening to us. He's in chat. But Matt did incredible, and Scotty did too. But Matt, I really want to give him extra credit, because at the end, we're listening, we're watching the Twitter, and Scotty is speculating what's going to happen. Well, Matt is inside of Soaz, so he knows what's going to happen, and he would, not make an inaccurate comment, but also not give away what our plan was. And man, I'm really impressed with how well he did. Giving away the right amount without too much. I mean, it was just,
Are you talking about Phantom?
Well, no, he was on the Twitch.
He was on the Twitch, and he was in the clan watching it live. Yeah,
but I didn't know.
Yeah, he was watching it live, but he could, obviously, because he was in our chat, he could see. Yeah,
I wasn't putting the chat up at all on the screen.
Right, but Matt could see it, and so like when Scotty would say, I don't know what their plan is. They've got 6 attacks left. What are they going to do? Well, Matt could see the chat, so if he wanted to, he could have, told us exactly what we were going to do.
Honestly though, would it really matter?
No.
I mean, maybe in prep day,
we've won wars exactly like that.
Where you know what they're up to, and so you do it with
Boneyard.
I think that you just got to go for all the stars at that point. If we could publish our chat, unless you wanted to, unless you were trying to influence what we were going to do.
We started trying to influence what you were going to do when, Soaz's style isn't to smack talk. So when I started,
that was all Botox.
Yeah. No, Locke and I decided to try to, get Zod off balance, and that was a strategic. That was a strategic move. Yeah, that was
our answer to that was complete radio silence for the last 9 hours of the war. We just said, okay, this is starting to get heated and getting personal, so we're done. and we just got off of there. And of course, we had our members listening to Twitch and getting the inside info.
I have a question.
I have a question. Speaking of good thing, Matt didn't give away. Scotty may or may not have said, "Hey, how about I go over there and spy on them for you guys?" What the fuck is that shit?
Yeah, I was gonna, and Boneyard sent me a trusting message the next day. I'm like, no, I can't.
Well, you as my friend can come over. I would trust you not to just totally.
That's what you said in the text message. I was like, oh.
Well, I'll give you credit, Soaz. I mean, Soaz.
Whoa.
Yeah. We got enough asses.
Hey, can I just quick ask a question, because you brought up something that seeing the other people's chat, you think would, like, have you seen it or spied where like knowing that strategy, that last minute strategy has like come through?
Well, the word
I mean, I think sorry, JD, I'll come back to you, but I think like Boneyard not using his attacks, honestly, we could have gotten more than 98 stars, because we had going for Mary Coop, who had pneumonia and still held his attack to the end. That was awesome. So I mean, he was going for 2 stars. Luke was going for 2 stars. RJ, how many could you have gotten, RJ?
I was surprised to get the star that I got.
You were able to get 2.
I was able to get 2.
Okay, so RJ was
Yeah.
going for 2, Locke was going for 1, JD was going for 1. So that was, I lost count of the 8 stars. And had they, the odds were against it, but had they all been successful, Soaz would have pulled ahead. And we have won wars like that. And in fact, we've been in position before to go for the tie or go for the win. And
no, I meant like from seeing another clan's chat, like if you're able to see
what they're going to do versus what you should do.
Would you change it much? Is that's what I'm asking? Is like, would you?
Sure, yeah, because like I count stars, so they had, I believe, 96 stars, and I figured that they were going to get at least 2. So if I had intelligence that told me how many stars they might gain, then we would adjust our strategy accordingly.
I don't know. I think you just go. I think you just look at the board and say they can get this many stars. I mean, they're gonna just plan on them going for the win.
Do you play it
That's
different?
What we do. I mean, we go for the win. That's it.
Do you think because like the clans knew each other and new members that you played it different than a normal war?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's all that smack talking and
no, but I mean in strategy.
No, we did our system
really.
just like we always do.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, Zod too. We just did our job, and we did what we do, and took it to them as best as we could, and it turned out fucking way up there and damn, real close. I mean,
if I would have been master, I would have probably went with a new
interrupted
strategy.
JD, so we need to get back to him.
Nobody cares about JD.
Yeah, nobody cares about me.
That's
I'm just
not
game
true.
director over here. No, what I was saying was, I mean, when I was spying with, a couple wars back, it was fun. It was more. I mean, I didn't even care as much about getting the screenshots of the base and stuff as it was more fun to see, what they were thinking in chat.
I completely agree.
To
You
see
mentioned that on the
if they were
podcast.
nervous, or if they were confident, if they were cocky and overconfident. You could see, are they going for 2? Are they playing it safe? Are they
Going for loot.
Well, I guess
we're
Phantom
always overconfident. There's a reason.
Phantom saw in one of their chats that they hadn't filled a CC for like 18 hours. And so we were kind of like, well, I think we might be okay on this one. And we ended up winning.
Hey, Boneyard,
Yeah.
what's your time zone demographic like over there? I know you're in Minnesota, but what's the rest of your clan like?
Well, mostly over here in Zod. You mean mostly states? It's all pretty much within an hour, and then several guys in the UK, and Rish is in Australia. So it kind of goes around the clock as far as people being on, especially with co-leaders and leaders. We have the UK and stuff, and so there's always somebody around to.
Who was up the latest for that end of that war there?
All of us. I think everybody was on until after the end of the war. Yeah.
Oh wow, cool.
we
Yeah,
could
and
expect slots.
actually the
Yeah.
Are you saying you
gosh,
could have gone to bed? Like, this is exciting, but I can't stay up.
And I was like, I'll get my taxi and then I can go to sleep. I'm like, there's no fucking way I cannot stay up to the end of this war. Oh my God. And I'm like, okay, I'm not even going to attack. This will be hilarious.
I was just waiting. I was happy to see you as a Town Hall 10, like I am, do very little to make a difference like I do. Very reassuring. It makes me feel a lot better. Is that
a backhanded compliment?
Yeah, no, real. Well, here's the thing. I'll backhand compliment myself. I didn't need to get any stars. I waited to the very end, and then it got to the point where we were doing the math. And, if everybody does what they're supposed to do, then we're ahead. Unless you guys, 3-star 2 of the Town Hall 10s that were still left over, then we would be in big trouble. And then a couple of those lower things, if you would have got, if you guys would have got proc right away, that was 2 stars waiting there for you. And even though you were sending in the lower guys that had been boxed out, with the hog, so maybe they couldn't get all the way, get it. But that would have been all these other attacks you could have tried up higher. And you know what I mean? That's every war. That's every war. But
the key to the war, in my opinion, is that
this is not purposely left on the screen.
This is just my thing. I don't know. I had the chat up for a little while. I should probably not have that up.
Well, there's the big victory banner on the.
Well, I'll just go to that then.
The key to the war, in my opinion, was that you guys switched to these so-called anti-3-star bases, which I guess I've been using for a while.
Maybe, I don't know. I think only maybe 5 of our guys actually switched bases, or maybe 5 or 6.
Well, they were the right 5 guys because
faced those before.
Burning Star, JD, and Locke. It's one of the really cool things about our clan is towards the end, those guys will work together, and if they all hit a clan, they look at each other's replays, they communicate, and they will figure out how to 3-star some of these bases. And JD, I want you to comment on this. I've never seen you so your confidence was down at the end of the war about doing your usuals, about adding your usual 6 stars.
Yeah, that was
really
a humbling experience.
I think it was that pig dog in the CC humbled a lot of people.
Yeah,
that was fantastic.
We
brought that up earlier. It was right before we started doing the Twitch, but that was something. I couldn't believe that it worked so well. And of course, the cure is just to not address it at all. Don't draw it out and turn it into pups. Just ignore it. I mean, even if it followed around the hogs the whole time, it wouldn't even kill one of them. Yeah. Although, if you get your queen in there and she starts aggroing on that hound, and then she dies.
Problem.
I think that happened a couple
according
times.
to the plan, I think I came the closest with that with Burning Star. But okay, I've never had to calculate how long will it take a pig dog to kill an archer. So the pig dog wasn't done with the archer, and I dropped my golem too soon. And the fucking pig dog went and chased down the golem, man. So it totally went my plan to shit. And then everything else,
that's a weird defensive troop.
Yeah, it is.
I want to ask Luke. So Luke, towards the end of the war, we had some craziness, and you ended up switching targets.
Oh, Jesus!
Yeah, I was set up to go for Rico, I think it was, and number 4 didn't go down, so I just swapped. And I didn't really look at the base too much, so I couldn't plan on an attack. I just went spam quad dog, so I had to change all my spells and
I know you would have gone go white on that base if you would have had time to study it. And
it was crappy too because I just spent all my DE to get my king up to 15, so I had no DE. Big dog was 71 gems, and that wasn't the gem at the time. That was just to get him in the barrack. So that was a little rough there.
I hate going in right at the end. That I think I always fail at the last minute when I'm not prepared. And I fail a lot.
I went in with that Pendulum, and I had a plan for it, but it fell through. As soon as I started, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing with this, and I just started dropping stuff, and it went wrong right away. And I'm glad I got the 2 stars I did, but I knew that wasn't going to work.
So Boneyard, while we're kind of trade notes here, so were you on board with this? Because Zod, and I've given y'all credit, you did cooperate.
That's what we do. Brock wanted Brock. He's like, let's do this, and I'm like, okay, Brock, set it all up. If you want to make it happen, cool. And we work together because it's a leadership of a group there. It's not just me telling everybody what to do.
Well, there was some negotiations with that going back and forth on both sides. So it wasn't. It was like a hard thing to do,
Yeah, right. Well, and that's something we got to get into. Is just the fact or the logistics of matching somebody up and getting all those numbers and figuring all that out. And we drew from a pool of Zod, and you guys had to get some other guys coming in to make it to make all the numbers right. And it worked out, which is amazing. Not amazing. The only other time I've ever seen it work, and I know other people have done it, and it does work once you figure it out. But the only time I've ever seen it was when the first Zod L war, and that was way back when. And that was kind of a fluke that we just split the clan in half, and then we were able to match up right away. It worked out that way. Really weird.
Do you remember how long it took for that matchup?
What's that?
Do you know how long it took for that L Zod matchup?
It was almost immediate. It was really. It was like within 10 minutes, and we were like, holy shit. The first time I think it was the first time that the two of us tried to do it at the same time. Like let's push the button at the same time and see what happens. And it worked immediately. And then it never worked again for the next, 40 times we tried. But then, then all the bases changed and all the algorithms are different and blah, blah, blah.
So behind the scenes, the roster wasn't discussed?
What do you mean?
Well, like originally, I collected our numbers and sent to Brock. And I just can't emphasize this enough. I want Brock and Zod to have credit for, because the way this is usually done is one clan ambushes the other. This for competitive clans, sharing transparent information to make the matchup happen is a rare thing, from what I understand. So when however, I sent you guys our information, and you guys could have matched that.
I'm going to leave that to Brock. I don't know anything about it. He just took pretty much everybody from the top. The only people that weren't in this match that was in Zod before the match were people that were brand new or our second accounts. Really, that was it. And a couple of our second accounts made it into this because we had to fill it up down at the Town Hall 8 level. But really,
that was a point of negotiation. Is Brock wanted a 30-man war and I wanted a 40, and we ended up with 35. But we were pretty rigid about not leaving. We were more concerned with participation, so we wanted our teammates who are good members and who wanted to be there. We wanted them to be able to participate.
Yeah, we pretty much took everybody. There's,
that's bullshit. Y'all had almost 50 members, and y'all were wanting a 30-man war, so that's not true.
Well,
he said new.
Again, leave it to Brock on the 30-man war. You guys wanted 40, and you didn't fill it up. You can take it either way. But yeah, we do have 50 people. 10 of them are second accounts. A bunch of other them are new people. We had 50 at the end of the war. We probably had 42 at the start.
Yeah, I'm just glad it worked out. It was a lot of fun either way. Who was in, who was out. Because we got a bunch of mercs just to fill it up so we could match up with you guys.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't call them mercs because I just put out an ATV.
Because they kicked ass for us.
Yeah, it turned out to be mercs. That is true. So we ought to give those guys credit.
It's good to bring other people into the fight. And people were shifting around a little bit around that time, too. I thought it was a good strategy because, in a war like this, where you've crafted the players, to match it up where
the numbers work,
where the numbers work, that it's going to be... It's like one of the first times you go, okay, this is a fair fight.
It really did end up being a pretty even matchup. With troop levels, with hero levels, with town hall levels, it turned out pretty good numbers wise.
The difference are those. I've warred with JD since before I was in Soaz, and he and Locke work together, and they come through with 3 stars. And I have never seen JD's confidence shaken. And
usually because he has a bunch of attacks to scout for his other attacks.
Yeah, and I'm just saying that those bases, those are not the usual bases we face, and that works. So, credit goes to Zod for amping up your defense and listening to Brock and using this so-called anti-3-star strategy.
Yeah, you haven't been on much today, Bo, but a few of our guys are working on an anti-3-star basis now.
They should be.
Yeah.
Well, I know that. Yeah, we got bases coming in from all different places and making them up ourselves. And a lot of the guys just do. Like we work together a lot. And it's not just Brock. We got Rico and Funky and Egg and everybody. Even the members are all working on everybody else's stuff all the time. Somebody new comes in. That's what I love about the community. The fans and coming in like, hey, I just want to come in. Hey, let's work on your bass. And even if you don't have the especially with the opt-in opt-out now. If you don't have the troops to really battle, stick around and we'll help you work on your bass until you're ready to go, kind of a thing. And working together and I'm sure you guys do the same thing. Now you faced a bass that is hard to beat. I'm going to start making changes in my own stuff, and we do that all the time with every battle we have. When we come up against something that's tough to 3-star or even 2-star, we change accordingly.
I will say that for the war we're currently in. There's a pig dog in my class.
Nice.
Did you
guys do a lot of bass work beforehand?
No, that was Easter weekend, dude. That was a horrible weekend to have this war.
The shitty thing is I made a whole homemade bass for this war, the Zod War, and I forgot to change it. And the bass that was in there was already 3-starred before in another war. I just never took it out. So I was shitting bricks. And Arisha came in with 1 star. I was like, oh, thank God. But you guys got another star at the end. And it was funny because I was hearing on Twitch, Brock was like, that wasn't the plan. My plan was an error. And that's what that bass was susceptible to. That's when it got 3-starred. And thank God they're going ground. So I was going to feel really crappy if I got 3-star with that bass. I forgot to change.
Now, was that number 12?
No, 4.
4 on the bass.
I was
okay.
number 4.
All right, okay.
Yeah, it's I don't know where I got that bass, but it's a crappy bass, and I just forgot.
Funky
to change
came through at the end with the 2nd star on that, right?
Yeah.
Man, that was so much fun to watch. Did you guys? I was really paying attention to their defense. Brock's bass just killed it. We were talking about that.
Yeah, I threw some things against the wall when I attacked that bass. My first attack.
It's a little different. It's got the town hall near the outside a little more.
Saw that a lot.
I did see that a lot this war. That's throwing people off. It's kind of a new thing. Everybody's had symmetrical bases with the town hall in the middle for so long that everybody now has an idea of how to beat them. Now you got to change it up and make all kinds of weird bases.
And I put some thought into that too. And I'm sorry to hog to monopolize the conversation here, but we discovered y'all's bases on YouTube, but the thing is that you can see Jake walk through an attack on YouTube, but if it's not to get the timing and the feel for it and all that, you can't just all of a sudden say, okay, I've got 6 hours to plan this and I'm going to study the film and I'm going to go execute it. It's not that simple.
I hear you. I saw that Pentaloon work a bunch of times really nicely, and I'm like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to try that at the end.
This is supposed to work. I've seen it done. What happened?
5 hounds, there'll be enough pig dogs to kill everything. This will work for sure. And then it totally crapped out.
Yep.
I should have just brought my dragons and my hound like I normally do with the CC full of loons and just fucking tried that instead.
All right, talking about rushed attacks here. Okay, so I'm looking at my replay versus Brock. I fucking never requested anything from my CC. I just went with what I had in there.
What was in there?
No.
Looking at hogs, wizards, archers. But oddly enough, that was enough to get the 50%.
That's awful, man.
Had it been loons, they would have went in and died somewhere. Yeah. I got this one archer floating around on the outside, hitting a mine for 50%. Awesome.
It was way better outside watching than I'm sure it was on the stress. Cause
I can't wait for the next L versus Zod War so we can watch it.
Sounds like I listened to Clashcast right before I came on. It sounds like the Zod, you guys are going to have another chance.
I don't know what if people were talking about moving around or if they were talking about.
There's been all kinds of talk on the line chats. Going after LexCorp, trying to match up with them, or matching up with the True Sons, or trying to match up with Project Cadmus, but they're on their 18th win on their win streak, so I really don't want to try to match up with them and ruin. Or not that maybe we'll lose, maybe we'll win, but I don't want to fuck with it.
Right.
Let them do their thing for
part
a while.
of the family.
Yeah, why have the loss come from the family? I understand that.
Yeah.
Hey, one thing. I'm sorry, Boneyard. Go ahead.
Well, and trying to match up with Al would be a thing, and but it'd be a lot of. You only get to use half your clan because we only have 4 Town Hall 10s. But then there was the talk of a inter-clan fantasy draft, and get everybody's numbers, and then just assign them a number and do it randomly, and match up. And do 4 clans or 2 clans with 50 people at first, and just totally random out of the family, or do the same thing and go after the True Sons, like an inter-family clan, and go after those guys.
Fam against True Sons. That'd be kind of cool.
Hey, I had an idea that you just made me think of right now. Okay, kind of like the draft thing you're talking about. Break everybody up into 20-person clans. Everybody hit the button at the same time, and so a lot of us are bound to match up with each other in those little clans.
That's a good idea.
Yes, everybody
I
from
actually
all over.
mentioned that before, and let me tell you what's good about that. If we could all get on the same schedule, and by that I mean all the podcasts and ancillary clans.
Well, or just do it every so often.
If we all kept the same schedule, then the odds of common opponents go way up. So
we're
even
pretty
if
close
you're
in schedules, aren't we?
Yeah.
Or you guys are off.
What do you guys do?
Ours is weird.
We do Sundays, Tuesdays, and then usually either Friday morning, but usually it's Thursday night.
Yeah, but to synchronize,
That's kind of the same thing we got.
Well, we reset Friday noon.
Friday noon, and then Sunday night we'll go, and then Tuesday night we'll go, and then we'll wait to reset again on
until Friday. Yeah.
So to be synchronized, you would have to.
It's a pain in the ass, Bo. We're not.
This is last war was a pain in the ass. Honestly,
everybody's going to veto that. We can keep it every now and then to be fun.
Yeah, because it's like like a push or something you organize. It's like you go in and it's a special event. Where you try to do something. And we did that with L tried to match L twice now, and nothing happened. So
it's
split twice. Once last week, once this week.
Have you guys, JD? Have you guys done matchups and made it work? Like you talking about hunting people down or ambushing them. How often have you actually made the numbers work and matched it up with somebody you're trying to?
This was the first time we've ever tried it.
Yeah. Okay. It's just something that seems like it would be kind of tough to do. I mean, even if the numbers match. I mean, we did it. Botox and Brock worked that shit out to a T, so it was perfect. But what are the odds that was going to happen? I mean, it seems like, oh, hey, we tried it, we did it, but it seems like it's going to be real tough.
I was consulting at some point. I mean, not to say that I don't trust Zod, but I don't trust Zod. So at some point,
you got something against him. I think I'm kind of feeling a little tension.
At some point,
Tell us how you really feel, Bo. Come on.
At some point, Brock said, so the way this started was Locke threw it out there. Hey, we ought to fight Zod. And people say that ever since the Zod War. People are always saying that. And
everybody wants to kill us because we're the top dogs around here. Everybody wants to shot at the top dog, right?
So
we do usually try to. We're on the same schedule.
So I put it out in line chat. Hey, is there an expert that can help us do this? And Brock was on that like white on rice, man. He grabbed that thing, took that ball, and ran with it. Well, at some point, he and I are talking back and forth, and he said something that piqued my "don't trust Zod" radar. Mm-hmm. And I was remembering Scotty's advice, and I said, and so at that point, I started independently, consulting the real experts out there, and that's kind of how the whole thing, came about. And it did take work, but I'll tell you, I think it would be easier to ambush somebody than to negotiate like Brock and I did.
Well, that, it took cooperation. And when you're ambushing somebody, you just got to try and get the numbers and go for it.
Right.
My question was more on how easy that to do if you don't have it perfectly worked out like you guys.
I think the hardest part is to figure out when they press the button. The number gathering and tailoring to meet that isn't the hard part. It's as far as if they're not cooperating, you got to find out when they're going to press that button, and you got to be ready to press the button at the same time. Matching up isn't hard at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to have a spy, and you know, and that doesn't necessarily have to be like a Phantom Warlord infiltration. It could be there may be somebody in that clan that wants to fight, and even though the rest of the clan doesn't want to, and that's all you need for somebody to, you know, share information with you when they're pushing the button.
Well, it's Clash Heads, isn't it, that does it a lot on before, and
they're watching.
they do a lot of it by just watching people on Twitch and stuff. You know,
I guess there's a lot of different
What do you
ways
think the
to get that
window is?
information.
Like, it has to be right at the exact same time, or could it
No,
be
think
10
how long it
minutes?
think how long it searches. It's searching for 10 minutes, and then somebody else says, "Oh, I'll war." And then, okay, we'll match with them. I mean, that's what it's searching for. It's not just running the numbers and trying to find somebody. It's the net has been cast when you press the button.
If you're within that ideal range, like, because sometimes it takes anywhere between 30, 40 minutes for us. So if some clan pops in at the same time with close numbers, you're going to get that match.
And you know, and
I
the
was
longer it
actually kind of
runs, the
surprised.
farther away you can be in the numbers.
I was surprised as close as we were, how long it took. You know,
True.
That's
I was
that's
expecting
true.
it to be a lot faster.
Well, that
Well,
first
that
button
gets
push, it
into
was-
Go ahead.
we went for what was it, 15, almost 20, and then we had to swap somebody out and hit it again.
Well, we had it
Indeed.
we had it down to a T, and I measured the mirrors, so everybody's mirror. And then I also measured the clans, and Dark Elixir and Gold. The total clans were very close, and then all the mirrors lined up. And the way we got there was at one point I needed to, you know, Zod sent their latest roster, and I had to counter, and I needed an 8.5 to counter, and I sent out a blast to everybody, and our dear friend Boaz replied. And so when we hit the button it's Brock, Rico, and I in a chat, and we hit the button, or I'm going in to hit the button, and I can't set the roster. And I found out why, and dear old Boaz, who was in another war.
Oh,
And this
The whole
was-
time.
When
Yeah. No, that sucks. All of a sudden, you got to quit that shit and find somebody else to put in there. Yeah, and it got started
and
super
Chuck
late.
saved us, and he turned out, in my opinion, to be a better attacker than Boaz could ever be.
Oh man!
Well, Chuck got
What's the
5,
time
right?
stamp on that?
Yeah,
What's the
Chuck
time
got-
stamp?
I got it.
How long did he go? How long did he go before he brought Boaz up?
39 minutes.
That's good.
is that
Botox, that's good.
is that the intro bumper?
Did you guys do the same thing? How many of your minis? I can't remember how many of your minis were in the.
Dude, I had fucking 3 in there on Easter
Holy
weekend, and
shit.
I'm working Monday.
I only had one
I
guy.
got screwed.
Oh man,
Yeah, just one here.
player 1 didn't go in, did he?
No, player one.
JD had 2.
Player 1 was on Walkabout. I think Peanuts was the only second account that we had.
Who's Peanuts?
Egglay or Funky? No, because Funky is still Funky, but I think it's Egg maybe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
That's
would be-
kind of convenient for player 1 to be in Kent Farmhouse.
Oh,
watching.
he had an awesome attack over in.
Oh yeah, I don't know if Cooper forgot that I was there, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go look at some replays. Why, you know? And let's talk about that. Why did you guys
that
let
help?
Cooper? No, it didn't because we sent in because it was like what's in the sucker hole Teslas because Cooper had sent that base to Funky like hey check out this base I use this base for pushing it for rating and sent him a picture like you could use this. And Funky like, did he forget he did that? And he left that base because he changed it during prep day and then he put it back. And we're like, well, is this like the double reverse? Did he move the Teslas out of there and move the bombs? Like, is he trying to? And so we ended up like we knew the Teslas were there. That's all I could have found out with looking at the replay. But we ended up having to send a scout up there to find out for sure. And then he went in for 2.
Now, did y'all scout Halligan?
No, I don't.
You scouted.
I mean, did you spy on Halligan while you were in Kent?
No, I just wanted to find out where if the Teslas were in the sucker hole. I didn't even bother with Halligan because but by the time I was going to look for that, I think we had already attacked him.
Next time, because Halligan's a badass, man. He put down some great attacks, and his defense wasn't bad either.
Yeah, where was he? He was right up near the top, right?
It was. We got really lucky because
number 7.
Because I was just putting out alerts. And
Proc got him for. He was number 7. Proc's 13th. Well, it was Town Hall 9 versus Town Hall 9, and got him for 3. That's pretty sweet. I know that he was pretty happy when he took out. Psychotic T took out that 3rd star on Botox. He was really happy with that. That was a pretty good attack. And Botox, I'll give you credit. The Valks, when that came out early, we were all like, "Oh, that's pretty good. We're gonna have to start figuring out how to do giant Valk attacks." It was pretty to watch.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love it.
Hey, credit where credit's due,
got a
right?
lot more patience than I do. I'd be like freaking out over that attack and just dropping stuff. Be like, I'm going to drop it.
Well, I
That's
really
a lot of pressure for you guys to have your mini. Like 3 different attacks.
My mini did the best.
Isn't that crazy?
Other accounts,
he wasted his good attack on the mini.
Yeah.
Well, you got him down there in Town Hall 8, and I'm sure we've all remember the whole Town Hall 8 discussions, but when you're in a war like that, Town Hall 8 versus Town Hall 8, if you know what you're doing with your mini, then keep them in and have it as a guarantee, or use them for scout or whatever you need to do and let other people, boxing your mini out is fine.
I'm way better
Let
with
other people
giants
try their attacks.
on my mini than I am, than I ever was before. Like when I was at Town Hall 8, I mean, now with my mini, I'm just like rolling over things.
Well, yeah.
I'm going to call out Brock and Boaz again a little bit on that because I mean we made the strategic.
I think it's kind of everybody's already settled their sides. I mean, it's just like
maybe. But I want to tell a story just to prove my point. So during this war, I received several personal messages from people apologizing for their attacks, which is such bullshit. Zod is a good clan, and their lowest Town Hall 8, number 30, had level 6 ADs in the center. It had the space ring to make it hard for hogs to get in. I mean, that was a tough base, and nobody who is, a Town Hall 8 for the first time should feel bad about struggling with that base. I mean, that is, and going up obviously was worse too. Well, no Town Hall 8 attacking the other Town Hall 8 should feel bad.
I think that whole thing centered on the stipulation that you have max troops as a Town Hall 8 and you know what you're doing. Not just anybody who has a Town Hall 8 is good at attacking a Town Hall, but you gotta have a good plan.
I'm horrible against a Town Hall 8.
I'm only good against Town Hall 8s that have weak dragon. I mean, that's it. That's all I got for my player 1 is dragon attacks. That's all I have.
We had a war recently where I attacked the Town Hall 8 with the exact same Valk attack you guys are complimenting me on, and I got a 98%. And I'm still pissed and not over it. But, and I'm not saying that's good because there's really no excuse for a Town Hall 9 not being able to 3-star Town Hall 8. But I fucked up, and that's, that happened. So I really.
Like as good an excuse as any. He messed up, Not every attack goes right, and,
But we made the decision, talking strategy, we made the decision to drop, invest a couple of 9 attacks early and taking off their top Town Hall 8s. And Zod tried to have their 8s clear our 8s, and they ended up with we had an 8 Ethan who was not 3-starred really.
Number 18. We had a lot of trouble with that. I think we hit it like 6 times. But that's our plan is to go, we go bottom up. We go bottoms up. 7 hit 7, and then Town Hall 8s do the Town Hall 8s, and then once all the Town Hall 8 attacks are spent for the most part, then the Town Hall 9 has to drop down and take that.
And that's the thing with the larger clans. I keep talking about how a 20-person war versus a 40 is twice as many people, but it's 20 times the pain in the ass. Well, the reason that is, I think, I recently had this light bulb go off, is the time is the same. So there's twice as many attacks, and there's the exact same 24 hours, and it amplifies the complication big time. So
we got to have a clan that works together. You know, you have Zod. We everybody gets in early. First 6 hours, you get at least half the attacks in, and then. But yeah, you know, we usually were 35 people, so it's close to 40. But if everybody's doing what they're supposed to do, then you don't really even need to worry about it. Plus the fact that we are in several different time zones, so people can work together throughout that entire 24 hours. You know, I think that changes it a lot because we can use the whole 24 hours, not just the first 6 and the last 6, which tends to happen a lot of the time, actually.
How old is Zod now?
June of last year is when we started it, right, Scotty?
When did we start ours? You know, have any idea?
Or not too long after we started. It was before Clan Wars, that was for sure.
Yeah, because didn't you guys
we didn't start really growing until recently.
Have you been playing you've been playing over a year, right?
Yeah.
Because I
remember like a 15-man crew for a very long time, and only in the past few months have we started building up our roster?
Yeah, I think it exploded since we started the podcast.
So you guys have been the same clan since Clan started? Or since the war started, I mean?
Since before war, yeah. The core group, yeah.
Okay, well, then I got to ask, what's your record?
We were going once a week, so we're 51 wins and I don't know how many losses.
Right on.
I mean, maybe
once a week at 51. Pretty good.
We're doing once a week until how long into it till we started going?
As soon as perks happened.
Yeah, that's pretty much everybody is. We were always twice a week, and then
actually,
and then once the perks started, we're like we have to have a weekend war, even if we don't do great, because everybody's busy on the weekend. But you got to get those clan points. You got to get up there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we were doing once a week until Yeti came in and said that L started a practice war, and we're like, "What's a practice war?
How do you practice war?"
That's kind of what everybody said. What's a practice war?
And we're like, "I like that idea. Let's do it." And so then we did 2 wars a week until clan perks, and then we're like, "Fuck it, we're going."
But it's funny because it started out as a practice. Everyone just, don't worry about it. And then maybe 2 weeks in, it's serious. Get your attacks in now.
That's how it goes with with
it's a slippery slope.
Kent Farmhouse. They were just we're just farming. Then it was the non-participant. You don't even have to war if you don't want to. And then it became you better get your fucking attacks in because we're about to win this.
Yeah, as soon as it gets close, it's like. That's why I think we talked a while ago about just you cannot start wars if you're not going to do wars. But I suppose that's before the opt-out.
And House of Nan is in their first war ever now because they started.
The last hold-up. I told him it was all right.
And Player 1 is over there now on his walkabout to visit every clan. And they started their war. It's on my phone. I haven't looked at it. But their first war, we might as well get the clan points because even if you don't war, if you're not a warring clan, it helps your... It helps your clan to get the points to go up clan levels. I mean, you might as well do it. Even if you don't win, you're still getting points.
Yeah, even if not half the attacks are going, just a couple here and there, you're going to start gaining eventually.
You guys where are you at in your clan? I don't have just as a preface, my voice is going, I think, because of the Soaz War. Talking all night and watch it.
The Zod
Soaz War. Is
we're at 1491 out of 1900 to go to level 4.
What was that?
We're at 1491 out of 1900 to go to level 4.
We are at 1765. We win the war we're in right now, and we go to 4.
And I heard you guys are going to have an easy time winning that one.
Yeah, it's active Pinoy. Usually when I see Pinoy, I'm like, damn, these Filipinos are really good. But this one is they have 111 wins, but they don't have the greatest troop comps for being high level, and the bases are crap. Not crap. I mean, we're going to try some new stuff after the war. I'm going to practice some new things, and some other people are going to start moving up. We got a couple people moving up from 8s to 9s, and so they get to start on some new troop attacks and some new things.
Do you guys specialize? Do you each have a specialty? Or does your clan? Because I can't remember. Since I only saw the one war. Yeah, throwing everything at the wall. No, but you had some good attacks. Does that
a month ago?
Are you saying some people do certain attacks?
So I'm barely starting to learn hogging. I think I'm getting the hang of that a little bit on easy basis. On the 10, I was primarily Go Wipe the whole way through. And then when the Pig Dog came out, I started working those Pig Dog attacks, quad dogs, and I just can't make the Golem Queen Kill work and then deploying balloons after that. So I've been working that for a while, but I'm about ready to give up and go back to Go Wipe.
Do what works for you. For the most part, I mean, really.
I keep on trying the CB Laloon, and it doesn't work all the time. So now I'm going down to 9s and practicing it on beating up on 9s without the Infernos, and it doesn't always work there either.
And that's the new thing. I heard it for the first time, the cold-blooded, and I can't help but think of Rick James.
Cold-blooded.
Yeah. or the Dave Chappelle. Cold-blooded. I'm Rick James, bitch. And so are
we twitching this? Is people watching what I'm doing?
I'm trying.
Is it happening? I don't know. Because I'm just kind of like looking at my chat and looking around. And
I know that there's.
I'm like, I should show replays while we're doing it because we're not talking about any of them. I just
figured once
hit on random replays. And let's watch Cooper's attack on Cooper.
It honestly is that we're in the basement tonight, and so the internet's different. And I figured if we started talking on this, we might as well not cut people off right in the middle of it, even though the video's shitty. I don't know.
All right. Well, okay. Well, I'll just keep playing replays, and maybe people can watch that while they're listening.
Yeah.
They're just looking at me typing shit. Hey, what's going on, guys?
It's a reality show.
Well, I do. This is my first twitching, and I dig it because, you can look at, I watched videos of people doing it. It's the first time I've ever actually done it myself.
So, Boneyard, I got a question for you.
Shoot.
So the next time Soaz faces Zod,
will you win again?
You think we'll gain 3 stars? Figure out how to gain 3 stars?
What are you talking about?
Do you think Soaz will figure out how to get 4 more stars in the next 4?
I do, and we'll figure out how to get 2 more and stay ahead.
Touche. Well played.
Breaking news. This podcast is getting way too long, so we're going to break it in half, and you can catch the other half over at Soaz Clashers, their podcast. Going to talk about all things Clashy, of course. Going to finish up with the Soaz War. What's the Zod War? It's just one of many. We're going to talk about all kinds of things and get in touch with them. Contact us again, ClashClansPodcast.com, at WBSMT Radio. Give us a call, 242-27-CLASH.
242-27.
Is that what it is? 424? 424-27-CLASH. Been a long time.
Yeah.
Nobody calls us anyway.
No, there's a couple of things.
You're always slow on that. Okay, so catch the rest of this episode over there, and keep it clashy, everyone.
Keep it clashy.
Skilly beep 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 skilly beep.